fantastic teams. I'm pretty sure we'll see some really good play here.
So, opening things up then. It's become the Fantastic Five of the console world right now. That Fuse in there instead of Twitch, while she is huge on PC and everyone loves her there, Fuse has definitely started to push her aside on the consoles, and especially on these maps where, as we talked about, top-down is a big deal. Fuse has been involved a lot because he can get control of those top-down locations, being that 3-armor, really tanky, strong attacker, to get in there first and to dislodge people.
And his device is really nice. Like, you don't need to get kills with it. It repositions. People have to move out of places that they're at. And that's a big thing when, say, if you've got someone who's really strong in defense, they've got like this really nice structured defense on this room, you plant a fuse there, it's complete, it's gone.
So let's have a look at the setups. Nothing too surprising at the moment. Powerful setting up barbed wire on the back stairs as a couple of drones come in. Havoc reinforcing these standard walls, and everyone else upstairs reinforcing all the different trapdoors that are involved and locking things out. There is one more that's not been done down in towards the vault. You're going to get that one, Fighter? We've seen a couple of teams last week get caught by surprise from this trapdoor. You leave it unreinforced, you get an Ash sprint straight into the lobby, blows it open down in the back, and you're suddenly exposed. But once it's reinforced, we rarely ever see it thermite team. People don't use that drop down because of how hard it is to push on it.
Yeah, you want to at least reinforce them so they have to waste that thermite too.
So, everything in place. And here comes our attack and forth. Vitality sending a couple in through the outside tunnels. Furious making his way outside with Sledge and support, and of course being very cautious not to get caught straight from spawn outside. But Criscu says otherwise, and as we mentioned before, goes very quickly inside the server room.
Took out Frost as well, quite big.
Frost down, which a shotgun plate inside this server room is huge. But now he's very much exposed and away from his team, and has to keep an eye on what his surroundings are and make sure he doesn't get collapsed down and in on. He's grabbed himself a nice strong advantage to begin with, but needs now to hold on to it.
This is a very fast push, this.
Excellent, staying very cautiously inside these 4 objectives now for the rest of it. Vitality are in, but down with a really nice shot from Fighter inside and within the bomb site. But Bios is still here, Squall is here to join him. Furious, while he's droning upstairs, is ready to blow open a couple of trapdoors as soon as they feel comfortable doing so.
They've got into a nice position getting rid of Frost that quick, and look how much time's left. There's still 2 minutes.
Still 2 minutes in the cockpit there. The top-down angle there, thanks to that trapdoor being open, has taken a chunk out of BCK's health, but he can reposition and keep an eye on a different angle. Has to duck past Fighter's sidelines, though, as he goes for the reload. Vitality just slowly pinning down and locating the different members of Excellence, and as you saw there, pushing BCK away. So now there is a far easier angle to get inside this A bomb site.
Yep.
He has to make a dangerous dart back across and hold it again, but there is still a man up top looking for his feet once more. And they're just waiting and finding their time for that push on in, and there's Excellence picking up one more kill because BCK and Laxing have found Bios, and they've shut him down. Squall coming down the stairs with a nice shot, but he's going to have a quick second man in support, but he finds that one too. Furious taking down Fighter. He's still using that drop down up top. They're trying to cut off the rotate from A to B. Powerful across one gap, but will now fight Squall straight up. But a nice headshot as Furious answers on the other side of the map.
I loved the how they pushed from both sides. I was thinking it would be a really nice thing to do because they had that quite on lockdown. Excellent. It was quite a nice lockdown there.
It was, but they did really well to pick up those 2 kills. We were from 4v4 versus a 2-4 in Excellence's favor. They quickly got it turned on, but like from what looked like they were pinned in, what looked like they had all these angles covered, and as you mentioned, Vitality had free roam upstairs and were rotating around. Suddenly it was swung back on them, and Excellence are like, great, we got a couple of good kills, we're in a good spot here. But they had to put themselves in such an exposed position to pick up those 2 kills. The Vitality were able to capitalize it on taking their end straight back out.
Very nice. I love how they decided like they were in a good position. They were like, we know this is going to risk it, this position, so let's move around and do the pincer movement on you, and it worked perfectly.
So have dropped 1 player. For whichever reason it may be. Vitality down that 1. Will back on out. We'll have to remake this lobby in just a moment, so we'll talk a bit more about that round number 1. The trapdoor, as we mentioned, came into play incredibly fast. Again, very important play for those 2 squads to take that over the A site. And it allows a really strong angle down in towards the A and B position. And then we saw something that we don't normally see too often on Xbox. We saw people playing in the garage. And we saw it used a little bit more aggressively than I think we've asked for in the past, but ultimately to perform the same job. We're looking for teams to sit in that garage and stop defenders going from the B bomb site across towards that A red corridor.
And also it's a fast push as well. Like you can go through the whole building to go to the stairs and then push around that way, but the garage, if you actually do break through there, you've got that push whenever you want it. So as we were saying about the pincer movement, you can literally just use the garage to do that without having to go through the whole building. So it is a nice position, and it is good to see people go there more, definitely.
So See whether that becomes a trend or if it is just a Vitality own thing. Now, of course, it's been a couple of weeks since we've seen any of these teams play. Like their qualifiers, that was all finished back a couple of days ago, many days ago, and they have been training hard ever since. So while we've got all these ideas, we've got these suspicions of how these guys play, could all come out completely different again. So it's been long training, so we're as much learning here as everyone else watching at home.
It'll be interesting if someone like brings out a whole different tactic what we've never seen.
That's what I'm hoping for. I'm excited to see if someone's got something up their sleeve. And as we mentioned, Vitality were, and I can't stress this enough, were a mile ahead of everyone else when it came to teamwork on attack. Hands down, when we last saw them play.
Exactly.
But that's been a long time ago, and there's plenty of chances for people to train, and there's plenty of opportunities for people could have seen that happen and have learned from it and adapted to it themselves. So
the push by Crisco was crazy. Like he got that Frost down so fast, and that Frost in that position is so powerful for a team. So getting that Frost down that quick, that's how they push so quickly.
Yeah, but a couple of nice shots at the end there, as you mentioned, opened themselves up, and BCK went straight back in that red corridor, which Thermite was watching straight as before, and shot his feet out. We do just about have every player back in the lobby, waiting on one last guy, and then we'll get back into round number 2. But the other thing I want to point out from that first round, like what they did to get Crisco in so fast is another thing that most other squads on the Xbox haven't yet adapted. They had BIOS in the tunnel on Fuse with his drone in hand, and was droning 3 feet in front of Crisco to be the eyes for him. And their communication, like, yes, there is the spot feature in game. You hold down your Y button and it spots it, puts a little red mark on the guy. But that takes too long to do in this situation. Like, you need it in split seconds. So it is verbal communication between these two guys.
And it also shows you, like, just with 2 people, if 2 people are just really play well together, how strong they can be.
They're called out of that position straight away, and they go straight in for it. But we have all 10 players back in. We are going straight back into round number 2, and let's see whether the trend continues. Vitality, of course, 1 round up after winning that first attack round, but by no means was it a done deal. Excellence put up a strong fight, and now it's their turn to do it again, and they are choosing to bring themselves a Twitch to the table, but a very different defensive roster here for Vitality. No Frost in there. They are bringing a Rook to the table instead of a Pulse, and they've got themselves a Recruit, which is something we've seen quite a few times now from Xbox teams. Running a Recruit, probably with a 416 or an MP7, 3 barbed wire and a C4. Especially when you're doing this bottom floor, because the mobility and the small angles that you have to fire over, you cover that area in barbed wire, it makes it really hard to peek that. So
we've seen a few recruits, haven't we? We've seen like more than one.
Yeah, exactly. So we've seen a couple of teams last week in the final days of the Pro League itself run 2 recruits, or with a bandit in there too. So they've got 3 MP7s, loads of barbed wire, and they should completely cake areas in the stuff. And you can see here, like 3 set up down around that tunnel. That stops the play that Crisco just made in the last round. Vitality are already fighting against it with their own defensive setup by killing the area in barbed wire. You cannot sprint through that doorway now like Crisco did at the start of the last round.
Yeah, it's good that. It's interesting seeing people use Recruit as well, because you're actually losing a unique equipment, aren't you, to do that? But it works, you know. You get that gun, you get that more barbed wire, and you get that nitro cell.
So BIOS with his 416 and barbed wire going to be joined by Crisco with his 416. Both of them, I suspect, upstairs. And well, BIOS is looking for people in that initial pull through. Anyone that may come in. Now, Laxing's on his drone and is inside checking the open office area for Powerful, but he's choosing to go up stop instead. The drone will just check around the various different corners and judge where it's safe to go in, but this is where a lot of teams fall down. Laxing droning and will often be the first man in. Havoc is now close, and he's looking to open the window, but they're firing onto Crisco back and across the angle, so they did find him, but they don't know exactly where BIOS is. This drone has not been, this drone did not find him, but they got to know that he's close. That's how Vitality play. You know these two are always going to be there to back each other up.
Yeah. If you've been watching, you know definitely them two are always going to be the 2 runners. Or at least close together.
The rest of the Excellent squad upstairs and have started to get in and get control of that top floor, but they're making their way slowly around it and cleaning it out with their drones and with each other and making sure it is completely open and clear, which for now it is. Vitality just letting them waste their time up on that top floor. Furious here on these back stairs is also here ready to back up Crisco and BIOS. Chris now taking quite a bit of shots as they
nice.
flanked around the side. They do take him out without any kind of retort yet, but Bios is coming straight down to answer on it. And he's now fighting Havoc straight up.
Yeah, there we go.
Very nice kill, puts him down, but he's got support. Bios does not have a whole lot of health left. He has been droned out by BCK, and there's a couple of Excellence players. There we go, just around the side to shut him down. So they do go 1 for 2.
Got rid of the Roamers as well.
Yeah, and that's a great trade for Excellence. Taking out both Roamers for just the one is huge, but Furious deciding to stay pretty aggressively up these stairs and look for the next man to come on down. If he grabs a guy and gets out alive, it will be huge for his team, but if Excellence keep playing as they have been doing in their solid pairs, they're going to get back and find him long before he can get out to safety. Termite on that same trapdoor that tore the Excellence defense open earlier on. That's where BCK was shot from, and a lot of his positioning was blocked away from him because of it.
Yep.
Powerful droning down the stairs, leading the way for Sledge. It is looking a lot better here from Excellence. They're coming down, but there's a Kapkan trap on the door which will slow him down. He's got to stand in exactly the corner Squall's looking at to kill that Kapkan trap, which is why he's waiting for it.
He's in a real nice position here.
But they use the Twitch drone, so nice spot by him. He's got to kill that drone before it starts to hit him, but now that allows him a chance to get inside, and Sledge will get in, capitalizes on it, takes Squall down before pushing into the rest of the bomb sites. Rook downs one. Fighter, though, downing Furious G at the bottom of the stairwells, and now he's got to find 4 players all on his own.
14 seconds.
Kills out Laxing to stop him spotting the plant. He's going to go down in the corner. All he's going to do is stop the plant. He does, but he's got to stay alive for 8 more seconds. Being chased down on his right-hand side, but he doesn't know this. Flanked down, and Fighter finishes him off. Really aggressive play to secure the round, and we go 1 round apiece.
I loved him down in the guy planting. That were big. We've seen
really
it. We've seen it. Like as soon as that bomb goes down, it's pretty much GG. They still took it, but
yeah, in a 3v1 situation that he was finding 3 kills with the diffusers down was huge. Stopping it was really important. Slight mistake from Excellence letting that guy die without shooting it, but well recovered at the end with Fighter. That aggressive push forward shuts him down from behind.
1-1.
So 1 round apiece and Vitality back onto the attack. Down into the basement, Excellence go again, having not successfully defended that earlier, gives them a second chance to do it now, and well, I'm sure they will have learned from their previous setup. They do still go without a Rook, and without the Doc, and without a lot of the setup that Vitality had, so 2 very different attempts to do it as far as operators go.
I obviously agree with the Frost, though.
Immediate barbed wire placement outside the tunnel. BCK and Fighter both doing that, making sure it's happening. Not too well placed. There's a lot of overlap in there, to be fair, which isn't making the most of all that barbed wire, but it will stop the very aggressive play from Criscu before. That is presuming Criscu comes in the same direction again. I'm sure Vitality have a couple of different options.
It's nice to see the adaptation in it. Like if something hits you bad, like it's kind of your weakness, you strengthen it, and then you try and find another weakness, and you strengthen it, and you try and find another weakness. So it's that kind of little game.
This one's at a different angle. Does get tagged out by Laxing with that little peek outside. So a little bit of information gathered by Pulse, and he will now fall back and get away safely. And it has slowed down Criscu's push once again. He is not safe enough to just sprint on forward and go very, very aggressively on his own. Anthrax then there with him on that Twitch. Bios' drone will spot out Frost. She, though, is not in a particularly new position. A Frost in this corridor
is really strong.
With
we've seen it, we've seen some crazy stuff here.
So she's just watching both ends. She's got traps there to help her out as well. Laxing right up on the top floor now, though. Still looking for anyone on that heartbeat sensor and hoping that Vitality will waste some time and come and try and find him, and he can delay them as much as possible, because that's what they failed at in the first round.
They were in really quick.
Yeah, Vitality were in and on the objective and free. 2.5 minutes still on the clock. They had all the time in the world to work through that objective. Now they are trying to delay them a little bit more, or at the very least give him a position that he can come and stab him in the back afterwards. Furious G then underneath that trapdoor was spotted, so yeah, he will have called that to his team and warned them of which trapdoor they may be working on. As the trapdoor does start to get blown, Thermite charge is going up above A and above the hallway that connects the two, as Squall picks up kill number 1 onto Havoc. Right out here towards the A site. He's obviously worked his way in slowly using his sledge to destroy the barbed wires. There's a couple of EMPs coming out as well as they make their way forward.
Definitely can get rid of that barbed wire.
Trade out. Fighter takes down Anthrax as they both headshot each other down in another far corner of the map. But the main push now coming in from this side will be Criscu again leading the charge with that Ash. Just keep darting in and darting out again and trying to face some fire from BCK. Waits for the smoke to plume and does get inside. BCK has to go and hide, but Bias will begin the plant. BCK comes around the corner to try and find him, but is shot down in the side as they do drop down through the trap door. Squall gets down for his troubles, but having picked up that kill, his job is done. Laxing, though, coming in from behind and taking out Bios and Criscu. He's got the diffuser exposed. Squall is down and his only Furious left standing. He's got to fight off these 2 players and hold the diffuser.
Can you see it?
Not quite.
He
hasn't been planted, so still got some time to go. Laxing managed to get in there and stop that plant
this is
from
kind
behind.
Of tense.
He knows he's in this direction. Laxing's on the heartbeat sensor though, so he's going to know exactly where Furious is. Comes off his heartbeat sensor, sees him, can't land the shot though. Pushes straight out aggressively and will not get enough. Laxing with a huge flank play.
Wow.
Showing us the true power of Rome.
Very, very nice. These have been really close rounds. Like, there's no one who's like clearly just winning at the moment, is there? They've all been really, really
Vitality,
close.
I mean, we praised them for their drone play and their teamwork in the opening rounds and how their attack works, and there they just straight up didn't use it. They didn't check the top floor. They wasted a lot of time in the second and didn't get much information from it, and it allowed Laxing to come straight round behind him and shoot them all in the back.
Yeah.
They paid the price for it, so I don't know why they chose not to do it in that round, but they got to step it up a little bit as they're now down 2 rounds to 1 and back onto defense. Ooh, no idea what's going on there. Was that our game crashed? That was our game
Was
crashed.
it?
Yes. So we will get that back up and going and continue with round number 4 in just a moment. But Vitality then on attack. We talked about how their drone play is fantastic on most occasions. This time it wasn't. Any ideas as to why you think?
Why they didn't do it the same? I mean, it could be the nerves. I mean, you'll be kind of second guessing yourself, won't you? When you go in front of a crowd, or it's not like in the comfort of your home minute anymore. It's in front of quite a few people, and also it's playing for big money. So maybe you're second guessing stuff. Maybe you're trying stuff out. You won't be playing the exact same. That's all I can really think. So they just decided not to use them, I guess. It'd be interesting if we could ask them, possibly, sometime.
Give them a little bit of
what do you think?
Time to think it over on their rounds. I'm not sure. I want to see a few more. Like, I don't want to go as far as nerves and big stage and never seen it before. Because they've got a couple of big, previously competitive players from different titles, different Xbox squads in their lineup. So there's something they're not completely new to. But it's definitely not quite the same squad we've seen. But Excellence is gunplay. I mean, Laxing's there at the end specifically was fantastic, picking up those 3 kills without being taken down by any of them, and stopping the diffuser being planted at the same time was big as well.
Yeah, they still did really well though. They got the bomb down, so it's not.
George getting very excited. Free swag for everyone in the crowd.
As I was doing.
Yeah, but we are getting the lobby back up and going as soon as possible. There we go, heads it back on. So, round number 4 coming up in a moment. Can finally start to see a different bomb site coming out of these 2 squads. It is going to be Excellence on defense. Where do you think they're going to do? As we said, all 3 of the other options are up in the air and aren't very much team preference.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just going to say top just because it's the more common.
Okay. See if we'll see the top floor then from them. And I mean, Glaz, what we mentioned, is really powerful, firing from that car park across the top of the bomb sites and across the top of the map to completely control that area.
Yeah.
He's not a common pick on the Xbox.
No.
Glaz is something that they do not seem to want to play, and he's not that sniper for whatever reason.
I mean, it's not like you need Glaz.
No, you don't
but
need
it's
it.
just
It's
a nice
powerful
threat, isn't it? It scares people from moving in their own bomb site a lot more.
Yeah, so we'll see whether that is choice or not. We've also seen, especially for teams, I mean, like Excellence here, which are great with their SMGs, their scrappy little fights there, so Laxing doing it with that. The Tellers and the Archives is a great little spot to go in because of how small and close those engagements become once people start getting in towards those objectives. But again, it comes down to there is 2 or 3 key walls, which if you cannot hold the reinforces, that bomb site is blown wide open and starts to become a real pain. And the bandit trick, the battery juggling, is something that console players seem to just shy away from completely. Now, I asked a couple of players why that was the case.
Okay.
They couldn't give me an answer.
Well, fair enough.
Like, we just don't like doing it. We'd rather just let it be open and play it, or try and kill him in the back.
At least with, I mean, I would recommend the bandit trick, but at least when you're not doing the bandit trick, they don't know where the bandit is. So that's at least one thing you've got.
True.
And you know it's going to get blown open, so you can be ready for it. I mean, that's 2 things. With the bandit trick, you don't know if they're going to get it open, so do you plan a defense for it being not open, or do you plan 2 defenses? Do you plan one where it doesn't get open and then another when it is open? So it's a bit, I mean, you've got that going for it, but I would definitely recommend using the bandit trick. in a lot of places, especially when it's the basements.
So back on into round number 4 we go. Vitality on their second attempt at defending will go down into that basement because they couldn't, of course, successfully defend it last time around.
Yeah.
Can they have a better run this time over? Their roamers, as you mentioned, Krisku, Bios, are a big deal to the squad, and they were both taken out with only picking up 1 kill between them, and that was a big, big deal.
I think it's excellence. They're just playing well. You know, they're getting rid of them. They went 1 for 1, I believe, on both roamers, or it might have even been 2 for 1.
Yeah, it was 2 for 1. They got both of the roamers, and they only lost 1 player.
That's really strong versus them. So
yeah,
you know, it's credit to them, really. I don't think they're doing anything wrong. They're playing very similar. They're being close to each other. They are taking that 1 guy out after the teammate's been taken out. But yeah, they're just finishing it up.
So, Bios going to doing the same setup we had before. Barbed wire and a couple of key doorways as a way to slow people chasing him and give his team a little bit of advance warning as and when people are pushing forwards. And then, of course, going to do his reinforces in a couple of spots. Furious is up here to help him with a couple more as well, but there are still 2 wide open trapdoors, and Krisku will come up and deal with those just as the round on end. So a well-rehearsed setup for the Vitality guys on defense here.
Yeah.
And Bios making this hole in the wall here to give them all a little bit more of an angle to rotate and freedom on this top floor. But last time around, it backfired on them nasty.
Can be quite sneaky that as well, because you don't expect them, like you hear them in one room and then all of a sudden they're in a room where you just wouldn't think because it's a doorway, but oh, it didn't use that doorway, it used somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice.
Krisku firing on the side of that wall did alert the attacking team to his location. Unfortunately, that player, Anthrax, disconnects outside the 15-second cutoff, so this round will play out as it is. So Vitality on the bottom foot already, and ow! Laxing pre-firing through the window.
Completely read it.
And Krisku steps straight on into it. Down by 1 more. Bios, the last remaining roamer, and there's drones all around him right now. Laxings is following him in as well. Bios takes it out, but has to reposition, and in fact, didn't take it out. He's being closed in on all sides again, and he can't really find a way down. With only 3 players left up, kind of needs a reposition, but good work again.
That's what I mean.
Droning him out. Fighter closing in on the other side. And
exactly. They're doing really well at just getting rid of the roamers.
Havoc there blowing the wall open will take him down. This is much, much better play from Excellence than what we saw in earlier weeks. Furious is still playing so aggressive up on the stairs. Havoc does take down Fighter, but gets Squall in the process. And now, once again, it is 4v1. And Furious is still holding the same corner, hoping someone will come in this direction, but they have really no reason to. Powerful will make noise in the barbed wire, but he's not quite sure which barbed wire it is. And he'll check around the corner, straight into her sightlines. Powerful shuts him down, and it's another round for Excellence, taking them up to 3 rounds to 1 in map number 1 here on Bank.
They're not going to be too happy on that.
They can't be. I mean, they lost a player at the start, which does hinder them tremendously. But
and then Bios left alone after Krisku got downed. And again, I mean, Excellence are doing really well at getting rid of the roamers. They probably know they're a threat. That's why they're doing what they're doing, to get rid of the roamers as quickly as possible, and then they can just play their game.
Yeah,
it's working.
It's perfect.
It's working really well.
It was also the fact that Laxing was pre-firing that in. The drone was there. He knew exactly where Krisku was. He just started just spraying up that end of the room, and Krisku tried to fire back.
Yep.
And in doing so, just stuck his head into the crosshairs and took the fires to the face. Something that is a risk you needn't necessarily do. Yes, okay, when it works, you get the big flashy looking plays and it looks great on camera that, I just stepped into this fire and picked up a kill and bang, I started helping my team. But at this level, with this much on the line, why risk it? Let him come in. When you know he's coming in, you're going to have the upper hand. You can hurt him into the positions you want, or just straight up run away and go back at your team. At no point when they lost a player or any moment when Vitality started losing players from either disconnects or just dying, did any of them think, all right, we'll fall back and go and defend the bottom floor? They had 3 people left up, and Bios is still up in that open office area, and Furious G is still on the stairwell waiting for someone around the corner. There was no, all right, fall back and play defensive, maybe we can win this in the tight scraps of the objective room. It was always trying to stay up top and get kills up top, and as a result, the freedom of movement that Excellence have on that floor as the attackers was allowing them to flank and pick apart the Vitality team that was still upstairs.
Maybe Krisku and Bios, especially, maybe they're just kind of testing the waters, see what they can do. see what they can't do, which is risky, but it does give you some intel of what you should do next. So it could be a bit of testing the waters.
It is a best of 3 series, so there are still 2 maps to play on through here, and still many rounds in this game itself too. 3 rounds to 1 is no mind down and out. We've seen teams come back from 4-0 down.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
To turn it around and win 6-4 in overtime. So they are still within reach of winning map number 1, but
for sure.
Excellence are definitely looking good coming out of the gate here. Their shots have been on point, and their drone play has been great.
I love how they are pretty much, as I believe, you know, as I've said it time and time again, Crisco and BIOS, they're a massive threat. And I love how Excellence, it's pretty much they're going for them first every single time.
It's also the fact that they're on point with tracking and finding them, which I'll admit isn't too tough, because right now Vitality are playing the same setup, both defensive rounds, exactly the same.
Yeah.
So with no changes, that allows Excellence to go, oh, I know exactly where they're going to be then. Go for them, kill them. Flank them, kill them. Easy peasy. But, I don't know, need to adjust it a little bit, get a little bit back more on point, but it's easier said than done.
Definitely.
That's why we're here. But
and, you know, if everyone is targeting you, no matter how good a player you are, if there's only 2 of you and there's 5 of them, they've got the advantage. And if they do that really well, if they have really good teamwork, they're just going to take you out, aren't they?
So, I have not been informed through my headset, but Vitality are setting up on defense right now. Now, that last round they defended. Excellence should be on defense right now. So I am intrigued as to why that is the setup before I start this game, and I would love to get a word from somebody.
Okay.
Whether, because there's a very real possibility they may have agreed to play out that round again.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's very true.
That's the only reason I can see Vitality being here on defense. Yes, but that is not how the rules normally state and how they've played the rest of the Pro League. So I need to find out exactly what the hell is going on there before I start this lobby. But okay, score is 2-1. They are replaying that round.
Oh, that's really nice
to go through it. So we are all back on bank. We've got all 10 players in, and we will begin.
Got to show respect for that, guys. That's nice.
Some good sportsmanship
stuff.
I
like that. They didn't need to because it was in the rules, but.
So we will head on into what is still technically round number 4. 2 rounds to 1 then, still in Excellence's favor. Vitality back on defense again. As we mentioned, they haven't changed anything, or didn't in that now voided round from their first defense.
Yep.
And it came back to bite them. They've got a second chance at it.
They do, yeah.
Will they do the same thing again, or are they going to adjust it a little bit more? I mean, it's only been twice, so playing the same thing again is not the end of the world, but they've got to improve on the execution of it, if nothing else.
Yeah. So let's do it.
Attacker needs to locate and defuse many bombs to safety.
Okay, cheers, thank you. All right. So, in we go again to their setup, and, well, they are back down in the basement, but interestingly enough, Anthrax has come right upstairs and reinforced this very top floor trapdoor. And this second one. Interesting. See what they plan for those. Because, as before, they are still leaving these last 2 open for Crisco to come through and do, but all their other ones are standard. Crisco making the hole over towards that alleyway spawn again.
I would like to see Crisco and BIOS reposition.
They haven't blown this wall, so that suggests they might do something different.
Yeah, maybe.
BIOS is now on the top floor and has a spot up there. And Crisco is staying in that same location.
Okay. So they're going to be ready for him, but they don't know where BIOS is.
Yeah. Is he going to be able to assist him though? That's the key point. So let's have a quick look over at the attacking squad as they make their way in.
He's going back down as well, BIOS.
Yeah, he's on the stairs now, coming down to join Crisco. So they've got a position set up on the top floor for a little bit of safety, but ultimately not playing it right now. And they are still back in that corner with Laxing and Fighter spraying in through this open office window, trying to find anyone maybe in there. Crisco this time is keeping his head down, but drones on the top floor are clearing the way for Powerful, and now he is looking to head his way down. as Laxing does take Krisku out again. So once
again.
more, just firing through that same angle. And Krisku goes to try and fire back. Bios now is repositioning downstairs. This is nicer. After losing that roam partner, he decided, all right, I'm going to back away. Squall also coming deeper down. Furious also coming deeper down. This alike. Backing away. We lost one man.
Well, that's what we're talking about. It's if you are a good roamer, you need to know when to push back. And every time Krisku died, Bias were very shortly after died because they were all attacking him. So it's nice that he's actually pushed back and he's like, right, I'm actually going to defend with the strength of my team down here and not die, and then it's going to be a 5v3. So I like that.
So down in a minute and a half from the clock, and now we start seeing Fighter pushing downstairs. He's got Anthrax just around the corner, but he gets taken out very, very quickly. But Ash is there to support him as well, and Ash will immediately trade out and take Anthrax down. So it is 1-for-1. Laxing actually picking up the kill. Sorry. In fact, it was. Laxing up top. There's Squall picking up the kill onto Havoc because he was down there to backing up Anthrax, but trading it out. It's still now a 3v3, but as the trapdoors above start to open up, BCK is in a powerful position. Looking to try and nade down onto Squall.
He's in a nice position, but we were here last time once again, so again, we're going to be ready for it.
There we go. Very nice grenade as he takes out that trophy. The second grenade won't kill Squall, though. He might have a chance to pick him up here before he gets droned on out, but Doc is miles away. There's no chance of him going to help out Furious G. Squall is dead and gone. Yeah. Now it is just Bios and Furious G looking to hold on. There we go. Squall picked off by Powerful as she makes her way downstairs. Now the diffuser here in BCK's hands. Can get inside to this room. Laxing dropped down through the trapdoor, is now firing on the side of Bios' head and will find Furious, but Furious finishes him off quickly. Looks to get in now and stop the diffuser, but Powerful's watching the doorway. Not got many shots left in that gun, and now the plant is down.
Oh, and it just jumps
BCK vaults over, and that's a mistake, but Powerful puts Furious down. Quick trade back. Momentary, scary thought for excellence.
Wow.
But sure shooting, really nice aim there at the end from Powerful. Every single shot straight into Furious's face.
Yeah.
Down he goes.
God, it's really hurting them that the roamers are not doing that much.
Yep.
So they're having to go for the defense. I
Excellence are doing a much better job taking them out than we've seen before. And now
definitely.
It is time for him to do a different defensive bomb site. Having successfully defended that lockers last time they were down there, they can now shoot somewhere else, or have to now shoot somewhere else, and they're going into the teller's office in the archives. So as we saw, it is that smaller, more enclosed bomb site, which allows for scrappier SMG fights, which they have shown real strength in so far. So.
Not one we see that much of. Not one that I've seen much of. Anyway.
It's one that started to become more popular in the later weeks of the Pro League.
Okay.
But Bank in itself became a little bit less popular in the latest weeks of the Pro League too. So, yeah, there was a very few situations where we actually saw it, but when we did, it can get quite explosive. And we've got a couple of different options. People coming in through the front lobby and blowing these walls. We've seen some plants go down.
Yeah.
We've got people coming through this wall and blowing that down and getting a plant down in this corner, and then we've got people that just straight up ignore that site and go into B as well.
There's so many places you can breach through. There's so many angles. It looks kind of claustrophobic.
Yeah, but as everyone is off and out again because we lost one more player, we will remake the lobby again and get you on and through. But it is still 3 rounds to 1 now in favor of excellence. Why is that player not got his headset on again?
They're doing very well.
Vitality so really nice to see Vitality challenge. As we mentioned, Infused previously been the only team to ever take a map off them. They had 6 wins and 1 draw in their Pro League run, and that 1 draw was only against Infused. Now, the first time we've seen them playing against these North American squads, Excellence are really putting it to them.
Yeah, they really are, but that's why we believed Vitality would going to do so well. And, you know, they still have a lot of time because they won every single game and they only drew. They've only drawn. They've never lost.
Yep.
So it'd be interesting if this could, you know, be the first. Still a lot of time to go though. I mean, it's only 3-1 on the first map out of 3.
So, letting them load back in.
There they are.
It's great to see a crowd. Everyone's enjoying themselves. Yeah. Hey, local crowd, the local team right now. I say local, North American team.
Yep.
Doing them proud.
Oh, they're doing well.
It's definitely going to be a wake-up call. We've seen a couple of nervous faces, I think, there on Vitality. Definitely secluded. I mean, they've never been a team to be particularly loud and boisterous with their wins. But
more focused,
they
let's just
are,
say.
yeah, we've seen a
Very
couple of rounds go
focused.
through and some heated exchange, or yeah, interestingly heated exchanges going back and forth, so what we can tell from here. So there's definitely some discussion going on with the team, trying to figure out what it is that is not working for them, and you see us now non-stop chatting away, trying to figure out what it is they need to do to get this back on track. But right now,
I'm really just curious to see, like, because the roam play isn't working on this map, if they're actually just going to pull back Bias and Crisco, or just pull them back. I think.
Thing is,
I'm
I don't think you
interested
can pull
to see
them completely back.
I know, that's what I think. That's why I kind of second-guessed myself there, because it is nice to have a roamer, but it's not working. That's the thing. So maybe change the position then, do something like that. Maybe hide a bit more and come from behind when they're attacking the defense. You know, when they're attacking the bomb site. You know, something like that.
Yeah, no, I like that play a lot.
Instead of being like you're the main focus, you're trying to kill them all. You hid them. And now they have to look for you, waste that time, or they're going to think, oh, maybe it has gone down or something like that, and then you go behind.
Yep.
Maybe starting to do something like that might work better.
Yeah, it may well do, but it's worth a shot. But as I say, credit to Excellence, they have done a great job so far of
Definitely.
finding the roamers and taking them out. So even if they are in hiding places, slightly different locations, I still think Excellence are going to track them down. But as you say, the key thing is making it take as long as possible for Excellence to do exactly that. But Furious and friends are on attack this round anyway, so that's not even relevant right this second.
It's interesting to think about.
It is interesting to think about
because
it.
that is what's hurting them.
It's what's hurting them, and it's exactly what we need to see from them now, because Excellence are going to have a couple of roamers on this map. One, maybe two, because when you're picking the tellers in the archives as that second bomb site, the bomb sites themselves are so small, as I mentioned, they are very scrappy for SMG heavy fights.
Yep.
But if you stack all 5 of your defenders in there, it becomes a bit of a meat grind, and you risk team kills again, like we saw earlier on, because there was just that one straight across. You start getting taken out by grenades very heavily. You really lose position when walls start to get reinforced and blown open by thermited. So you need to have a couple of people outside that fight to try and do damage first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks very claustrophobic, so it is maybe like 1 or 2 there, something like that, and then maybe someone a bit further out, maybe in a different room, and then you've got them 2 roamers.
Yeah, they don't have to be too far, they don't have to be top floor, they can just be in the kitchen or in the open office area next to it, just so that you can try and do some damage before the attackers get right onto the objective. Try and be that little bit nuisance beforehand. If you get a kill, great, perfect world. If you get 2, fantastic, but sometimes just the 1 is all you need before you get taken down and shot out. But all 5 people in that bomb site, as you say, very claustrophobic.
Yes.
But we do have all 10 players back into the lobby, so we see the last round just culminating through. Powerful with, I can't stress it enough, important shots. We will get straight back on in.
It could have almost took that though. And once again, it's a close round. It is a close round once again.
Yep, down to that 1v1 again, but just couldn't quite make those last shots.
Hopefully it's all going to go smooth and we get some awesome play now.
You had to go and say it, didn't it? Let's go and say it.
It's obvious, isn't it?
So back on in we go. Excellence on to defense. Vitality still fighting for their life. It is, I believe, actually 3-1 now on the scoreboard. But they will now head on forward into this next round. Tellers and Archives will be the defense. And, well, Vitality spawning in exactly the same locations as before. And I like this swap from Excellence. Bringing in a Rook on this bomb site, if you're going to run roamers, is incredibly important.
Yeah.
The extra health, the extra damage you can absorb by using Rook armor, I mean, it's fantastic in every situation, every bomb site, arguably. But if you're going to use it, or if you're going to not use it somewhere, using it in the slightly more longer range, spread out bomb site, like what downstairs can be, the lockers can be, compared to in here, when it is very much on top of each other, scrappy little fights, headshots are not a big deal. And it is more chest, body, and leg shots, quick reaction flicks, where those extra shots count. And as I say, if you're running a roamer, giving that roamer a slightly more tanky and lifelong presence outside these bomb sites, again, helps wasting time. It helps slowing things down. And, and that's exactly what their job is. So we'll see what they choose to run it with. But of course, armor is on down. Reinforcements are going up in the spots we saw before and the key holes. But Laxing is on the drone hunt.
I think another nice thing about this bomb site is it's not the most common, so your attack's going to be a bit weaker in it.
Laxing looking straight out towards spawn. Oh, just misses Bios' head, but gets shut down by Crisco, who had already got across the crossed gap. Takes down Laxing, and it's a good start for Vitality now. If they can continue on pushing forward for this.
Good start.
may swing things back the way they want it to go. Reinforcements still being completed inside. Havoc making a nice hole between the two sites. I'm not sure I like the placement on that, to be fair. Because if they get this castle door open now, they can see straight through into both bomb sites from outside. And the assault rifles with the ACOGs in the lobby are going to favor the attackers. That would have been better placed a little bit more to the right and not given them such a clean sight line through from both bomb site to bomb site.
We'll see if that comes into play.
Maybe. Fighter, though, is, as we suspected, roaming around the rest of the map, or was, until they lost Laxing. Now he's decided it's better to come and rejoin his team downstairs.
Yep, I like that.
And they were starting to drone and clean him out up top.
Oh, hello. This could hurt.
Putting his fuse charge straight down on top of the floor below will make Powerful turn and run.
Yeah.
But cleans out this end of the bomb site quickly. Now the push is coming down the stairs. Sledge leading the charge with Anthrax behind the wheel. Opens up the first doorway. Does take a couple of shots to the feet while doing it, but ultimately he's okay. And now it's opened up for Ash to drone on in. For Squall at the top of the stairs to fire onto Powerful. Tags him, but gets away. But now you see Excellence running around inside. They are getting really scrappy as they're running low on space to go with. Fighter up through the floor, takes down BIOS. That is a big deal, as you saw the kind of damage that fuse charge could do without even hitting anyone. Force them to sprint around inside, and any kind of movement in there right now is going to expose someone to an angle.
Yep, creates
so
chaos,
he's being
doesn't
watched. So, Furious safe, opening up one of the different walls, checking behind him to make sure he's clear, but has got a teammate in that direction as well. Thermite goes off, and yet another angle now that Excellence have to be careful of. Havoc gets away safely,
very
but
close to
it was
him.
close. Now they're watching for Squall and Furious out the side. There we go. Anthrax picks up the kill on top Fighter because he had to reposition inside. Now they've got a lot of control onto B site. And if Havoc and Powerful come across, they're going to get shot in the side here by a Thermite. There goes one. Havoc's pushing forward. The shotgun will pick up the kill down Furious G. But in the backside now, Squall and Anthrax are pushed straight on into the B bomb site. They do have the diffuser right now in front of each other's shots. But
scary
will back away.
This.
Plant is going down. Squall is looking to try and bait Frost on through. Furious is still down, so it is a 3v2. BCK holding on tight. Havoc tempted to come on out, but won't just yet. But Squall's got him covered from a range with the shotgun won't fire that far.
There it is. Very nice positioning.
Down goes one more, and it's all onto BCK. He will find Kriska trying to flank around him, but can't get the second kill. Anthrax shuts him down, and it will be another round on the board here for Vitality. But still down ultimately, 3 rounds to 1. And there, they did a much better job of, I mean, to be fair, most of it came from once they were hemmed in. It's exactly what we saw. Once you get everyone pinned inside, once the walls start getting open, that bomb site becomes a meat grinder, and there's no room to move, and you start getting sprayed.
Well, we saw it, didn't we?
You needed the roamers outside. Laxing dying so damn fast is what really scuppered Excellence there, because Vitality went, right, we now have complete free roam of the rest of the map. We know we forced Fighter back into the bomb site. We know Laxing is dead. We can now just come straight on in and pressure you guys from all angles.
All angles, yeah, exactly, yeah. Maybe they possibly might need more roamers if they're going to go there again.
That, and I just think Laxing has peeked that window at the start 3 times now and gone for those shots. Never got a kill, but just tagged a couple of people, and this time, surprise, surprise, they were ready for it. They shut him down. So that just didn't need to happen. If he just played that round normally and been there to support Fighter in a proper roam role, that I feel could have gone far,
you don't want to be
him.
too obvious. You don't want to keep going to the same places. Like, yeah, it might be a really good place, give you the advantage, etc. But if you keep going there, eventually that advantage is going to go down, and it's going to be a disadvantage because people know where you are.
So, Vitality defense again. Has reinforced a couple of these trapdoors on the top floor again.
Attackers recovered the diffuser. Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse.
That gives Kriska and Bias a bit of top floor safety when sitting in this open office and kitchen area again. But ultimately,
going to the same places ish.
Not quite. Squall is now in the kitchen, playing there on Cap.
Kriska is still in the same place.
Kriska is in the same spot, but Squall's playing the kitchen.
Interesting.
Bios is playing out in the main lobby. So again, a 3 roamer setup from these guys, but in largely the same positions. Kriska pre-firing the wall again. No one exposing themselves to that angle yet because they're so used to it, and they droned him out again. Check back the other way as the shots start coming through now. Laxing pre-firing the corners again. Bios still hiding very closely in behind that reception, but the rest of Excellence are checking around the top floors now.
And that's what they're doing so well. They're getting rid of these roamers. They're getting all that intel, and then they're just pushing together. And even if one of them goes down, they have a teammate who takes the kill.
Yeah, Havoc cautiously coming in behind these drones and attempted to make his way into the office. Seems to be waiting for the shout on some way or not. Powerful watching that angle in there. They've got this top floor cleared, but to be fair, they're waiting a lot of time without going much further. And that's giving Criscu, Squall, and BIOS time to sit here comfortably.
They seem to be getting very scared. It's because I don't think they've seen too many roamers, or I'm really not sure, but they really are slowing down and looking scared right now.
I think they're expecting a change here from Vitality.
Could be.
They're confused.
Well, they have
they
a bit of one, don't they, as well? So
they do. They have a slight one. But right now they're doing their job. Minute and a half already used from the clock, and not a lot of movement here at all.
I like
BIOS
what he
has
did there.
fallen back. Is now going to pick up from behind. Just misses Laxing going around that corner, but he may be here to cover Squall's back in just a moment. Laxing, BCK here. Havoc now right at the top of the stairs. Will peek straight on in. Both of them missing most of their shots. But the follow-up from Havoc won't miss. Down goes BIOS, and Criscu is taken out on the other side of the map here. Laxing taking out Squall as well, and suddenly all the roamers are down. Still prone and running away, and Ash, well, lost the support from BCK. Gets it taken out by Anthrax.
That's interesting.
Anthrax now will in fact be able to revive BIOS here, because the diffuser was put down, sent down with Ash, and BCK and Fighter just exposed it and left her alone.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know why they didn't just shoot the down person there.
Coming in and going down the stairs. BIOS right at the bottom is on 50% health, but the diffuser will be picked up before Fighter looks to push forward in. Two people in this room. Anthrax, he goes for the pre-fire. Fury taking him powerful elsewhere. We're still in a 3v3.
Nice,
and because
like
BIOS is alive, he can late peek on the reload. Take down Fighter. Suddenly the tables are back in Vitality favor thanks to slight mistakes from Excellence, leaving their diffuser exposed, leaving Ash exposed to push down their solo. Drop comes down, the grenade's already put, he peeks forward, finds one, will not even get that kill, down he goes. Thermite down inside the server room, he's Laxing on his own, and Furious G shuts him down. And just like that, Vitality have brought it back to 3 rounds versus 3.
Good stuff. I did notice with Criscu, he was starting to push back a bit more. So it's nice to see at least he's pushing back.
Yep.
Instead of challenging when he hears them or when he sees them shoot, he's pushing a bit back and then giving himself the advantage. And also with the 3 roamers instead of 2, I think that scared them.
Yeah, I think
it slowed them down, didn't it?
They also spent so much time on the top floor, and as you say, BIOS, as soon as that minute and a half hit click, and still hadn't seen anyone, he fell back into that stairwell and started to come and join his team, rather than still being so mobile around the rest of the map.
I like it. I like the change. This is what I wanted to see, because obviously it's not working. It's not working them just trying to like win everyone and kill everyone they see, because they're strong. Excellence are strong. That's why they're here. So it's nice to see that they're showing respect and they're pushing back now, and they're giving themselves the advantage instead of just being like, oh, I can out-aim, or I can just kill this guy really quick. So it's nice to see that. Playing a lot smarter.
Excellence, though, successfully back down into the basement now. So far, the only bomb site anyone has successfully defended. But we'll see how it does play out. We're, of course, going to see a different bomb site from Vitality on their next defense as well. But we'll get to that in a moment, as the Excellence defense is still being set up. Elevator and lobby still not been reinforced. Criscu's drone would have spotted that, but it has now been killed out as Fighter makes his way there, so that will go through, but they could still rush on in, take Fighter down. Criscu spawning out the front is actually going to come in through the server again, so this is where they did in round number 1 and gave him the first win. Going a little bit cautiously in case anyone goes for that peek outside, but that is not the case. And then heads on in. Havoc is still inside, as we mentioned before. Taking that frost down was very, very big, but Laxing is now there on his heartbeat sensor. Sees him coming forward. Backs up to guy in the server. The pre-fire is there, and Criscu backs away. And that was the extent of that pressure on Tunnel. Now Laxing's going to be unsure about it. Havoc's going to be there as well. And Powerful will go and cover the garage. It's something they didn't push until late on the last round. While everyone else
still remember it though, aren't they? So they're like, I need to make sure.
So in towards the top floor comes Vitality again, droning and pushing at the same time as they've done successfully in the past. But earlier rounds today wasn't quite so strong.
These pushes are getting a lot slower, I feel.
Yeah, I definitely feel like their confidence has taken a knock here, Vitality. Like, they came into the tournament knowing they were very strong, knowing they were some of the strongest. But now they're being a little bit more cautious, having lost those first few rounds. But back at 3 rounds to 3. They are holding on tight. Ash on the stairwells, knows that someone's going to be in there. Havoc, in fact, just exposed herself a little bit. She is pre-firing the corner now because of it.
Scary place that when you got a frost there. You need to be careful.
Need to get on down, and they've got to get that barbed wire destroyed. That grenade will have done it. Squall with the diffusers, thinking about being the first man in. Goes for the pre-fire, there's no one there, but Havoc is close on the corner.
Ooh, okay.
He could potentially grab 2 here as they're in the stairwell. He's very unsure about moving back and forth.
This is like
He's
a
also
perfect place for frost.
Still cautious, there may be one in the tunnel. BIOS will drone on in. Now he peeks around the corner, misses all of his shots, but so do the attacking Vitality players. And they are suddenly very cautious about coming in. Crisco peeking around at the servers again. He's missing a lot of shots, but the shotgun won't miss the second time round. Crisco goes down, but that's thankfully they backed away with the diffuser, and Squall gets out safely to join the push here down the main stairwell.
It weren't worth it, that push. A Frost that close.
So, grenade goes off. BCK repositions up to pre-fire the corner on the stairs. Does tag Twitch. She now decides to turn tail and run. Down goes Squall leading the charge. He does take out Powerful.
Very nice.
Getting in the push onto B. It's very unorthodox, but they're going to try and make it off. Goes for the cross, but inside B is that Bandit player to shut him down. Powerful will now be shut. Fighter, sorry, taken out by Anthrax as he sprints through the vault behind him. It is still a 3v3. Bios holding one angle, checking the vault. 30 seconds on the shout. Behind the bomb is BCK, but he gets flanked here by Bios B. Inside the bomb site is Anthrax, and the plant's going to go down. Havoc takes down Bios through the wall, though. Doesn't know that's not the diffuser. And doesn't know Thermite's dropped behind. Thermite taking it out, and Laxing now top floor was going for a flank, but everyone's dead, so he's a solo player.
Oh no,
They're going to hear him come down the stairs. Anthrax leaps out just as he goes to the heartbeat sensor, catches sight of him, gets in the elevator, but nice shot from Laxing, takes him down, and it's a 1v1 against Furious G. He knows he's in the far end, sees the shots coming past, pre-fires it, doesn't have a whole lot of time left, got to get the diffuse through it, picks out but misses his shots. Laxing goes back out to take him again, and they both turn around, he's chasing him down, playing Ring a Roses,
and he gets him!
Furious with the final blow.
Wow.
Puts Vitality back into the lead and onto match point.
But chase.
Got it right up in there. The timing, everyone on edge. Neither player wanting to hold that angle for too long. Always looking for that information, the heartbeat sensor, the little peak, but everything just slightly off timing as far as...
He got quite unlucky with some of the things there.
Laxing was concerned, but finally, killing blow landed.
Vitality pull ahead.
And yeah, for the second time in this map, they are back in the lead, but they were very spread out from the first round now to the 7th round.
A lot of these games could have gone anywhere. They're coming down to like 1v1s and things. It's getting, it's a really close game. This.
So Vitality's second bomb site selection is going to be that top floor you talked about earlier on. Same standard 5 for the attacking team here of Excellence.
Bias going with recruit once again as well, probably for the weapon.
Yeah, he does it all the time. 2 416s, all the barbed wire, very standard Bias loadout. I'm sure everyone on Excellence knows to expect it. And again, setting up their defenses, blowing a hole between the storage room and the A-bomb to give them a quick rotate to there. Barbed wire all the way in the corridor, which makes it really hard for the attackers to pressure onto that storage room.
Slows you down, you can hear them, you get the advantage over them, don't you? Or they have to waste like a grenade or something to get rid of it.
Heading down towards this alley spawn again, exactly the same spot that Crisco played previously, but with a different bomb site.
True.
It might still catch Excellence by surprise. Chooses to go even deeper down. Yeah, well, detector.
It's very loud.
They give him away. I think he's just...
Is it baiting?
Yeah, maybe he's baiting. I don't know.
Interesting.
Interesting. But Crisco is also staying far more passive in this round. So staying up with the rest of his team as the top floor is being cleared out by Excellence, using the use of this skylights to see down and in pretty safely. It's rare you'll see a defending team peek these skylights and get away with it, but maybe if they do it later on in the rounds, they might catch someone by surprise, but not right away here. Clearing out cameras as Powerful pushes on into the barbed wire forest.
Got his lords.
So taking a bunch out with a grenade, that will give them a sight into this room on the right-hand side. And there is a player in the corner. Has heard it. Powerful holding the angle tightly. As we do see Doc change his mind about being inside that room. We'll take up a different angle and use this kill hole towards the doorway instead. Doesn't want to get pounced in as Laxing. He's gone, the attacking team.
Mills is there.
Pushes forward, the pre-fires around, and he picks up the kill. Powerful gets it, but Bios is taking down BCK at a different angle. Crisco will answer onto Fighter as well, so it's a 4v2, and now Powerful's pinned inside this storage room, looking for as many players as he can pick up. Squall is to his left, Anthrax is to his right. He can hear them both moving around, but he can't find the shots. They know he's in here after picking up that earlier kill. Anthrax will continue to hold that right-hand angle. Squall continues to push to the left, but hides behind the bomb. Prone behind the desk, and now Anthrax pushes into the room, takes a lot of damage, but Bios and Crisco ultimately answer those kills onto Excellence at the right moment. Havoc and Powerful go down, and it's last round.
Wow.
Map played.
Yeah.
over to Vitality. Now, normally, that's the map. We are replaying that last round. That's why I didn't get too excited.
Okay. So because they allowed them to replay it when that happened, they've said, okay, we'll allow you as well.
So the reason we replayed the first time that player dropped was because that wasn't a console crash, it wasn't disconnected in that sense. That was someone logging into the account he was used back here.
Oh, okay.
So that was out of his control and out of his end. Now that we're choosing to replay that round, despite the black screen, interesting. But we'll go with it. So, ultimately, some very nice shots, powerful.
I think what it is,
positioning and trading from the defensive side.
Yeah, I think what it is they just want to play each other at the best, you know, play each other with a full team. The competitive players, they want to verse the best. They don't want to win because of this little thing. So that's probably what it is.
Talk about that last round. I know it is now technically invalid, he's not there, but let's talk about, I mean, it was your bomb site, it's the top floor. What do you wanted to see? Talk to me about how they played it, what you liked about it, the setup and the defense, and what went wrong ultimately for the attacking team.
They just had really good defense, didn't they? They had all the places covered. They couldn't push in easily. The barbed wire slowed them down, made them waste grenades, things like that. And yeah, they just had all bases covered, really, didn't they? They couldn't push in easily. They had every single place ready.
They knew a couple of the positions Excellence would be playing, or they pre-fired it, and Vitality would be playing, pre-fired it, caught by surprise, but ultimately they were then just picked off from other angles when they started to have to take their eyes off things, and some well-timed peeks from Fighter.
Also, the roamers, they're not being as overzealous now, are they? They're actually being a bit slower, a bit more smart.
There was only one roam at that time for Vitality too.
Bios, yeah. And he played really slow, and then pushed behind and got someone, and that's what we're saying. It would be nice for them to do that. They tried something, testing the waters. Maybe they were testing the waters just to see, can I do this? Can I pre-fire this guy?
Again.
Yeah, this is really
again,
good.
Everyone in the last couple of seconds just peeking one way or another. I guess they just see heads through the gap, but Furious this time was ready for Lexington to come back.
Yeah, that was so clutch. Look at that.
And there was the reaction from them. Heartbroken look on Excellence's face, but Vitality undoubtedly over the moon, putting them there on match point, giving them that lead. Taking them into the round we're about to see here.
Yeah, that was a really good round.
Replay that again. So,
just getting everyone in over.
Just a little explanation for everyone that may be wondering, by the way. Anthrax is playing on the ESLPL 10 account because his game is linked to his to a physical copy of the game, to the CD, and we don't have any CDs here. So we're all playing on digital copies, and his account went, well, that's not right, I'm not allowed to do that. So he's playing on one of our loaned accounts, which does obviously therefore not have his name, but it is Anthrax, I can assure you on that much.
Just a random person who's just joined.
So let's talk, we got to look towards the next map now, right? Next map's going to be Cafe Dostoyevsky. Having seen these two squads play, how do you think that map's going to fare up for these two? I mean, beforehand, I think everyone expected Vitality to be in a really good spot coming into this, but they have definitely been shaky.
With Vitality, one thing what's making them as good as they are is they can adapt really well and they can change the play.
You say that, but we've criticised them in the early couple of defensive rounds because they just did the same thing twice.
Yeah, but they've started adapting, that's what I mean. Like, they've started doing it, so I can imagine maybe on Cafe they're going to go back to testing the water, maybe being more aggressive with the roam play, and then if it doesn't work, once again, they're going to go back to this defensive, not as, you know, trying to kill everyone and maybe pushing behind sneakily kind of play. Okay. That's my kind of prediction. Right, it seems that way.
No, yeah, I think you're completely right. I mean, which is what we're literally seeing here from Bios on this top floor bomb site. He is playing down in the basement, playing away from Proddy and trying to come back and stab people in the back later in the round, and that's perfect to do on Cafe.
Exactly, and we've got Squall as well, and he's starting to be a bit of a roamer too. So they've got three of them all kind of moving around, so it's getting even more confusing of where they're going to be. So they're just changing it up constantly. So yeah, I think we'll see that. If it works, they won't change it. As soon as it stops working, they'll change it. Okay. And yeah, that's what we'll see. I do think maybe we will see the aggressiveness back on the next map.
All right, we have everyone back on and in. We are back on the bank. We can play out that final round again, potentially final round.
Yeah.
As of course, Vitality still here now on map point. 4 rounds to 3. Excellence need this last one to bring it on through and take it into overtime, which will unfortunately require another game restart. But we'll get to that if we need to. Vitality definitely, as you say, finding their groove and adapting a little bit better now. Yep. Looking to seal out this first map despite the rocky start.
It's a very close one though, isn't it? Like,
yeah. But as you say, like they used their defense on the basement very much the same for quite a while. Then they did exactly the same kind of defense again. Different people in the spots, but same spots.
Yep.
However, adjusted by pulling those roamers back faster to ultimately win that basement for the first time. That's what's put them up here.
You know what it's
now,
like?
Yeah.
I just thought it's almost like conditioning. Like you play one way and you get the team to play this way against that style, and then you completely change it, or you slow it down, and you've conditioned the team to maybe play a certain way. It probably isn't that, but I just thought, I mean, maybe that's kind of working for them, that kind of conditioning.
That's what I mean. So that's part of the mind game, and right now they've just seen, Excellence have just seen a Vitality defensive setup on this floor, and it destroyed them.
Yes,
so now Excellence have got to adjust a little bit from the way
that's
they've
true.
won. So my question is, are Vitality going to change their setup at all? Are they that confident in that defense that they know it will work no matter what Excellence try and adapt to it?
I'm actually not sure.
That's what I'm waiting to see here.
Yeah, what I'm gonna say is they're gonna use the same one. Because it worked, and as I said, I do believe Vitality, if it works, they'll keep doing it. And then when it stops working, they'll stop doing it. So because it worked, I think they are going to do it again.
I think you might be right. I think that's why they were shaky early in these rounds today, because they used to just having their strategy and have it work, and that's been just rolling over everyone in Europe.
Yeah.
Now they suddenly came in and went, oh crap, these things weren't working quite as smoothly as they had been before. We need to rethink it a little bit. And as you say, it took them a couple of rounds, but they've got there now.
Well, fair play to them. They've done well with it.
Yeah. So BIOS once again, lone roamer. Not right down to the basement yet, but he is running all over the map and trying to confuse the hell out of Excellence, and whatever drones or whatnot may find him along the way.
Yeah, possibly.
Fights are coming straight into the basement. Havoc coming through the garage as well, and these two may find BIOS if he continues his route down here and isn't careful.
Interesting.
Is coming down the stairwell, is going to see Fighter there. I don't think Tactor saw him. First kill on the board then, and that's going to be huge.
Nice. Yeah,
but
it is.
BIOS now sitting in that stairwell, has Havoc closing in on him. He's going to have a couple of other Excellence players too, but no, very quickly go straight upstairs. That is a nice play.
Again, yeah, it's the kill someone, now I'm back, I'm going to be with my whole team here, and again, like that's something we didn't see at the very start, and because they're doing it now, it's really working for them.
I mean, decisions like that are also a team thing, right? It's not like, all right, I've killed the guy, do I go back to my team all on his surface? Like, all right, guys, I've killed him. Should I come back? Do you want me to continue roaming? What do you think the shout is? And they went, all right, come back. It's the last round, it's map point. We know we've got a strong defense in this room if we just have enough people to like trade out kills and then swap it over. You've got one, you've given us the numbers advantage, great, and this bomb site is big enough that you can completely spread out in here beautifully. And that is exactly what they've done.
Yeah, I love it.
Criscu then does get down by Laxing out here, but Laxing takes a lot of damage and turns to run. Criscu
really wants to take him there.
Yeah.
He's on low health, so
back up.
It can be downed.
And, well, they could refresh him. He's on about 20 health.
Don't kill him. We have actually seen that.
Yeah. That might go through. They're not going to refresh him. They're just going to let it go. Havoc clearing the rest of the map. Well, Twitch and Thatcher are on the roof. But they're still journeying out, trying to figure out exactly where everyone on Vitality is. They're down to the last minute on the clock.
So Laxing that. Oh, never mind.
That's a teammate. Yep. Laxing and BZK looking to push on through. Charge is going to go on the wall here behind Furious G. It's going to be heard and go off, and that's suddenly going to be a lot of attention. Vitality put in this direction. Furious G inside that locker room. Squall watching a tiny little angle here as Christian does big down powerful as Frost Twitch is trying to push him through the server. BIOS flanks around and takes down Laxing up from behind. He's going to come up right underneath. BCK would be taken out.
Nice, okay.
But he's still done a lot of work. 2 kills at clutch moments in the round. That means Havoc and BCK have got 4 people to find and 30 seconds to do it in. Pushing towards either angle of the bomb site, trying to pre-fire in a couple of corners and pick up a lucky kill.
20 seconds to go,
everyone
2v4.
of Vitality is still saying very, very disciplined and close. Furious is on the floor underneath Havoc. He will save at the last second, and Havoc gets taken down. BCK has to find Paul, sprints it to his death, and Vitality, after a rocky start, take map number 1
very well
5
played.
rounds to 3.
Very, very well played.